Good evening and welcome to the organizational meeting of the Vermillion Local School District Board of Education, Monday, January 8th, 2018. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Haberman.
Here.
Mrs. Ennis.
Here.
Mrs. Russell.
Here.
Mr. Stark.
Here.
And Mrs. Stepp.
Here.
Please rise and join us in Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And you do that right. Next, we have administering the oath of office to Chris Habermill and Sarah Stepp.
Come out front.
That's right, you guys got it.
I forgot to until Suzanne said.
You guys can face her if you want. I prefer not to get my face. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Ohio? And will you faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of school board member of the Vermillion Local School District to which you've been elected?
I will.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mine too. Next on the agenda, item E is election of officers. I'll start with president. Any nominations for president?
Chris Haberman.
Any other nominations for president of the board for 2018? One more time. Any other nominations for president of the board? Do you accept? I guess I should ask that too.
I will.
You will, okay. All in favor of Chris Habermill?
Did we get a second?
Make a motion.
Oh,
Somebody
She
second motion.
nominated. Is that
Okay.
moved?
I'll second.
Sarah moved.
I'll second.
Mike second. Go ahead, call the roll.
Mr. Haberman, or I'm sorry, Mrs. Stepp,
Yes.
Mr. Stark,
Yes.
Mr. Haberman,
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis,
Yes.
and Mrs. Russell.
Yes.
And then, do you want to do the next one, switch now?
Okay. Go ahead and finish this
Okay.
meeting and then we'll switch.
All right. Vice president, nominations for vice president of the board for 2018.
I'll nominate Mike Stark.
Any other nominations for vice president of the board? And one last time, any other nominations for vice president of the board? Okay, so we'll have Chris Habermill move to have Mike Stark, vice president. We need a second.
I'll second.
Call the roll?
Mr. Haberman,
Yes.
Mrs. Russell,
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis,
Yes.
Mr. Stark,
Yes.
and Mrs. Stepp.
Yes.
And I'll switch now so you can read all this stuff. Congratulations, both of
Mike, we're gonna move
you. Do you want to move over here and I'll move in, Mike?
Or do you want to stay there?
Okay. Show that you're in my spot. Nice to get to see who's meeting now.
Yeah.
Just like always looking at the. Yeah, because we're kicking all my stuff instead of film. Is this your phone? That's mine. Answer it, will you? Okay. Item F, standing resolutions. New board president presiding. Recommend a resolution to approve the following standing resolutions for 2018. Number one, to establish the second Monday of each month at 7 p.m. for the day and time of the regular meetings in 2018 as listed. Number 2, designate the Vermillion Photojournal as the official newspaper. Number 3, direct the treasurer to provide copies of the minutes of the last meeting 2 days prior to the next regular meeting, and to waive the reading of the minutes if said is done. Number 4, authorize the treasurer to pay on abstracts and invoices, monthly salaries and bills within the approved appropriations. Request from the Erie and Lorraine County auditors advances on tax settlements as monies are collected. Invest the funds of the district as they are available. Establish funds as necessary when requested by law or auditor of state. Approve student activity funds, purpose statements, and budgets. Open and read bids immediately after the time for filing bids has expired. Number 5, authorize the superintendent or his designee to act as the purchasing agent, act as the federal programs coordinator, act as compliance officer for the Equal Education Opportunities Act, Title IX and 1972 Civil Rights Act, Family and Medical Leave Act, Bureau of Workers' Compensation, Public Employees Risk and Reduction Program, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, Americans with Disabilities Act, and 504 Coordinator. Approve the emergency and temporary employment of personnel in compliance with the policy. Provide coordination of required asbestos inspections. Act as safety coordinator. Approve the use of school buses within the state and local rules. Approve the use of volunteer and/or employee personal automobile to transport students to or from school or school-sponsored activities. Number 6, authorize the building principals to sign contracts such as student activity contracts, student pictures, school annuals, athletic contests, and the like. Number 7, appoint the superintendent or his designee as the Board of Education's hearing officer for appeals and suspensions and expulsions of students. Number 8, authorize the appointment of the board's representative to act as designee for the Board of Education to hear student expulsion appeals. Number 9, authorize the athletic director to act as purchasing agent for the athletic fund. Number 10, establish a service fund in the amount allowed by law of $3,500 for the Board of Education within the general funds for the remainder of the fiscal year 17 and fiscal year 2018. Number 11, appoint Jeff Keck to serve on the Vermillion City Parks and Rec Board for 2018. Who's going to be the legislative liaison? Sarah? Number 12, appoint Sarah Stepp to serve as the legislative liaison with the Ohio School Board Association for 2018. Number 13, appoint Crystal Russell to serve as the student achievement liaison with the Ohio School Boards Association for 2018. Number 14, authorize the participation in state and federal programs as they become available. Number 15, approve alternative tax budget for fiscal year 2019. Number 16, appoint the following firms as legal counsel: Bricker and Eckler LLP, Smith Peters and Khalil LLPA, Walter Haverfield LLP, Ennis Britton LPA, Squire Patton and Boggs LLP.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Simmons?
Yes.
Mrs. Stark? Yes. Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
And lastly, motion to adjourn the organizational meeting.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Mrs. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
Yes.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mrs. Stark?
Yes.
6:54. Good evening. Welcome to the January regular meeting of the Vermillion Local School District. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Habermill?
Here?
Mrs. Simmons?
Here.
Mrs. Russell?
Here.
Mr. Stark?
Here.
Mrs. Stark? Here.
Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. pledge allegiance.
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item 4 on the agenda, student liaison update. Do we have anything tonight?
I think at one point we were gonna have Bonnie, but with all the
Just
school.
kind of figured we would be deferring that one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on. Item 5, legislative update.
There are a ton of bills being looked at and going through the process. The one I saw that was interesting was House Bill 170 was passed. It gives the school district the option of using computer science as a prescribed subject within the minimum high school curriculum requirements for receiving diplomas. If the district chooses to adopt computer science as an option, it would be an alternative to Algebra 2. It cannot be substituted for a life science class, but Algebra 2 can be. And it also addresses educator qualifications to be able to teach computer sciences. That's all I have.
Got some strange looks from the math teacher in the house.
I didn't say I agreed, I'm just saying that's what's going on out there.
All right, thank you.
Well, the weird thing about it though is you still need Algebra 2 for college entrances. And it doesn't, so if you take that, there's a chance that you're gonna have a harder time getting accepted in the colleges that you, so I don't know why they passed it, but that's what's going on. It's interesting.
You want to push it out, or? All right, we're going to push the public participation out toward the end of the agenda. So we'll move past that to item 7, superintendent's report.
Okay, this is School Board Recognition Month, so if you would just allow me to read a statement, then just talk a little bit. Board of Education's a mature institution in Ohio. School board members make policy, approve contracts with employees, choose curriculum, adopt budgets, and select a superintendent, treasurer, and business manager to administer the district. They do all these tasks with the emphasis of what's best for the children that they serve. Being an effective school board member is no easy task, particularly in today's climate of change and challenge. School board members need to be knowledgeable about many complex educational and social issues and carry out initiatives and directives from both federal and state governments. To face these demands of governing our public schools, they give countless hours of their personal time. A public board of education is a legislative body of citizens elected locally by their communities. Most of Ohio school boards consist of 5 or 7 members who serve 4-year terms of office. As co-partners with the General Assembly, which created the boards of education, school board members are designated to carry out the constitutional mandate to administer the school system of each district. Through dedicated, responsible endeavors, school board members serve the public interest in public education and serve the needs of our kids. They ensure that decisions about public schools are made as close to the needs of the communities as possible. Their public service is an excellent example for young and old alike of the tradition of volunteerism that's a hallmark of our American society. This January, local communities are invited to honor the contributions and dedications of their school board members, those locally elected citizens who make decisions that affect, influence, and direct the education of the youth. Our school board is just one of the more than 700 across Ohio. So let's say thank you to those who participated in what is perhaps the purest form of grassroots democratic principles upon which our republic was formed. Our school board members do make a difference for every child in our community every single day. So that was just a prepared speech, obviously, but every year I just want to tell you from my point of view, thank you for everything that you do for our kids and for our school district. You truly do spend countless hours, and there's a lot of thought and dedication and commitment that goes into being a school board member. So thank you on behalf of myself personally, and thank you on behalf of our kids, our students, and the district for everything you do.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the superintendent's report is a lot split from Decatur Street property, and this is going to be on item number 3 as a resolution from the United Church of Christ. We talked about this in a previous board meeting, and basically we're taking a portion of the Vermillion Elementary School property that will go up for sale here in the near future, and I'll talk about that in just another minute, but it's basically on the east of the property. We took a parcel and split it off, and we're connecting it, where the Congregational Church will be connecting it to their property and give them a little bit more space to grow and for parking or for whatever it is that they need. It's really not going to affect the sale of the property because we've got a lot of acreage there. And so it was an opportunity for us to work together with the Congregational Church. And it was also an opportunity for us to, quite honestly, sell it for a little bit of money. We didn't sell it for a lot, but it's a landlocked piece of property, so it really wasn't able to be developed. And you'll see in the agreement that they've given us $9,900 for that little parcel. And so I think that it's a good situation for us. We'll take that money and be able to put it into our capital improvement projects or whatever it is that we might need. And we've talked about this at a previous board meeting.
Was Crystal on the?
When we started.
I don't think so, no.
It's like in the back, it's like the south.
I was asking her before it started, yeah, where it was, so.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
abutting their property basically, and it's on it would be on the east end of our property, the west end of the Congregational Church. And
Like back when they used to practice little league for the football and everything.
Okay,
It won't affect the base, there's a baseball field over there, it won't impact those baseball fields.
okay.
So it really, and we've left the playgrounds there, and it doesn't impact that. So we've just carved off a piece of landlocked land, basically, and sold it for that amount of money. Any questions, any more concerns on that? Okay. The next item, this was / Columbia Gas Agreement, and we've been working on this for a long time. And I finally was able to get a hold of a person down at Columbia Gas. They had given us a verbal commitment to take the gas line that's on the property between South Street and Vermillion Elementary School. That gas line serves those two properties. It wasn't a problem for us before when we were connected and we owned both pieces of property. But as you know, we sold South Street off quite some time ago. And so that's been an issue because we've had to take that gas bill and prorate whatever the amount of gas that was used for South Street to that owner. And that's not something that we want to continue to do long term. So the gas company is going to come in and they need an easement on our property to access that gas line basically and re-meter that site. And the problem that we had though was that we got a verbal commitment from them but didn't have anything in writing. We can't go ahead and sell the property unless we have something in writing. So they're not going to perform the work yet. I don't know how long for sure it's going to take, but they have given us, and you can see it in an attachment tonight, back in the agenda. It's a written commitment. So I got them to give us a written commitment saying that this will be performed. So this will allow us to go ahead and sell the old Vermillion Elementary School because the future owners of the property will know that that work will be done and the meters will be separated. So that was a good thing. It took a long time and we should be ready now to start ramping up to get that other property auctioned off, and then we'll take the proceeds from that property, and we'll need to build some storage back on the end of the parking lot of the football stadium. Any questions, concerns about that? So that was a good thing for us. So the next one is then the resolution to approve that transfer. Chris, would you like me to just go ahead and read that, or?
Yeah, sure, please.
Recommend a resolution to approve the resolution supporting transfer of property to authorize selling a portion of Decatur Street property to the United Church of Christ Congregational, attachment B.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any other questions or discussion?
Did we get that little odd piece in the back for the bus garage?
Yes, yeah, that's
Yeah.
split off, and
Okay.
we're good with that. Yeah, we made sure when we split that off with the Congregational Church that we gave ourselves enough room for expansion, in case we'll need it.
And you said that does not affect the softball fields there, no, with that?
No.
Okay.
No, we're good with that, too.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Habermill,
Yes.
Mrs. Russell,
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis,
Abstain.
Mr. Stark,
Yes.
and Mrs. Stuck.
Yes.
Item B, the treasurer's report.
Number one, recommend a resolution to accept the following donations. $50 to the Coach Matt Coble Scholarship Fund from Edward and Barbara Coble. $72 to the Coach Matt Coble Scholarship Fund from Josh Hannon.
I'll second. Any questions? Call the roll.
Mrs. Stuck,
Yes.
Mr. Habermill,
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis,
Yes.
Mrs. Russell,
Yes.
and Mr. Stark.
Yes.
Number two, recommend a resolution to approve November 30th, 2017 and December 31st, 2017 financial reports.
I'll move.
I'll second.
We'll skip to the December financial since that's the most up-to-date information we have. And so this is the report where we compare our forecast to our actual, and we're halfway through the year. And our total revenue is right on target, 50%, and our expenditures are right 50%. So we're right where we need to be. Let me get to the next, just scroll. There we go. So here's the details of the actual individual receipts and expenditures. We usually pay a lot of attention to the salaries and the fringe benefits because those are the largest areas of expenditures. And the salaries were at 49% and fringe benefits right at 50%. So, any questions on any of the categories?
Any concerns?
No? We're good.
Supplies, just because we
Order more towards the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Call the roll.
Mr. Stark,
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis,
Yes.
Mrs. Russell,
Yes.
Mr. Stark,
Yes. Again.
Step. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Who did I miss?
Me, yes.
Sorry about that. Number three, recommend a resolution to approve payment of $4,616.25 to Mercy Occupation Health for the shared nursing program.
I'll move.
I'll second.
What exactly is that?
This is where we pay to have the blood draws for our employees as part of the wellness program. And this is actually coming out of the wellness money we get from Lark and Medical Mutual.
Gotcha.
It's paying for that.
Call the roll.
Mr. Stark,
Yes.
Mrs. Russell,
Yes.
Mr. Habermill,
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Steph?
Yes.
Item 8, the consent agenda. The superintendent and the treasurer recommend that the Board of Education approve the consent agenda items. Action by the Board of Education in adoption of the consent agenda means that all items are adopted by one single motion unless a member of the board, the treasurer, or the superintendent requests that any such item be removed from the consent agenda and voted on separately. Item A, approve the minutes of the December 4 regular board meeting. B, approve policy 2464, gifted education and identification with changes as per recent changes in Ohio law. Item C, approve plan and procedure for identification and service of students who are gifted as required by Ohio law. D, authorize membership in the Ohio School Boards Association with publication subscriptions. Item E, approve supplemental easement agreement with the Columbia Gas of Ohio related to the replacement of the gas meter located on Decatur Street property. Item F, approve the appointment of Eileen Bulin to the Ritter Public Library Board of Trustees for a period of January 1, 2018 through December 31, 2020. G, approve service agreement for the therapeutic counseling services with Catherine Emmaheiser Caudill for the period of December 12, 2017 through February 16, 2018 at $90 per hour. G, approve resolution to participate in OSBA Legal Assistance Fund at a cost of $250. H, approve the following employment actions. Letters of resignation from the following. Jim Basisson, custodian, effective January 17, 2018. Suzanne Wilson, treasurer for retirement purposes, effective April 1st, 2018. 1 year additional duties contract for 2018-19 contract year to the following, pending verification of pupil activity permit if required. Brett Colohan, head football coach, VHS, level 44, step 0. I'll move.
Second.
Go ahead. Does anyone have any items that need to be removed for discussion? Okay, call the roll, please.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Starr?
Yes.
Mrs. Steph?
Yes.
Item 9 was items removed from the agenda. There were none, so we'll move to item 10.
Public participation.
Okay, that's right, it is. We're gonna
Not that-
jump back to, yeah, thank you. Jumping back to public participation, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak? Okay. One item just to mention is, we switched our officers around. Just take a minute to thank and recognize Shelley for being board president over the last year. It's, there's no extra rewards or anything that come with it, but it's, you've got the additional job of keeping everyone informed and kind of focused, so thank you, great job.
Yeah,
Thanks.
very much so.
Item 10, recommend a resolution to move into executive, actually, I'm going to jump to item 11, right? And we'll finish this part up. That's the date and time of upcoming board meetings. We've got a regular meeting February 12th, March 12th, and April 9th, all at 7 p.m. So that's the planned schedule for now. If there's any conflicts or issues, we'll address those as they come up. Back to item 10, recommend a resolution to move into executive session for the purpose of employment, dismissal, discipline, or compensation of public employees.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mrs. Steph?
Yes.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
And Mr. Starr?
Yes.
7:20.